Hey, boys and girls. Today is going to be our first day of studying research. So, the last week or so, you've been going on Epic, and you've been going on PebbleGo, and you've been going on RazKids. And the reason I've been having you do that is to prepare for this next unit. Now, this will be a mini lesson similar to what your teacher would do in the classroom. So this is a little bit different, but we're going to move on to some things that are a little bit more complex than just looking at websites online today. So this is going to be a little bit longer, and make sure you listen carefully because this is the beginning of a longer unit that we're going to be doing for the next couple weeks. So right here I have our learning target that says, I can prepare for a research project. Say that again. I can prepare for a research project. Now, I underlined that word research because that is the main word that we're going to be focusing on for the next couple weeks. And one way that I like to think about research is this. Up until third grade, so in kindergarten and first grade and second grade, you have been learning how to read. You've been learning about phonics, you've been learning about word sounds. But in third grade, now is this beautiful switch where we will now use our reading skills to help us learn. And that is essentially what research is. We are going to learn by reading. This unit will be broken up into two parts. The first part that we're going to do is to do some research together as a class, and I'm going to help you with that. The second part, you're going to get to pick your own topic in research. So for the first week or two, we're going to be doing this part one. So listen very carefully so that we know when we get to part two, you'll know how to do it by yourself. So for part one, the topic that we will be studying as a class is penguins. And I chose penguins because it's something that I don't know a lot about, and I would like to get to know more, and I think that third graders might be interested in that. Okay? So the first step to any research project is to prepare. Just like in the morning when you would get ready for school, you would prepare. You would brush your teeth. You would get dressed, you would eat breakfast, you would make sure your backpack is filled up and ready to go for the day. Just like a research project, or just like that, a research project we also need to prepare for. And that's what we are going to do today. So the first step to preparing is to think about what prior knowledge do I have about my topic. So as I sit here and think, what do I already know about penguins? Well, I know that penguins are black and white. I know that penguins live in cold weather. I know that penguins are kind of small. I know that penguins swim in the water. What do you know already about penguins? Step 2. What resources can I use to research my topic? Now, the last week or so, I have been giving you some resources so that you can use them exactly for this. So, I've given you tools to go on Epic. I've shown you how to go on PebbleGo. I've shown you how to go on RazKids. Those are great resources, and those are the resources that I mainly want you to use, but you are definitely not limited to those. Maybe you have books at your house. You can certainly use that. Maybe you want to go on YouTube and learn about it. Maybe you just want to simply Google penguins. Maybe you know that Disney Plus has a couple shows about penguins. These are all available and great resources. And number 3, the last step to prepare for a research project is to think about what common subtopics do I notice about my topic. So as you look through those resources, what do I notice that I keep seeing? What are some of those big ideas that they continue to talk about? and I'll give you a hint. Subtopics are currently or always found in the table of contents of books. So if you were to go on Epic and open up that table of contents, just find a couple books, what are some subtopics that you usually see? I'll give you a hint. I went on Epic and I looked at a couple books. I just typed in penguins into the search bar, and right away, a lot of the same books had the same subtopics in their table of contents, often in different order, but almost all the books talked about the food, what penguins eat. Almost all the books talked about where penguins live. Almost all the books had a subtopic of what their body looked like. Okay? So as we prepare for this unit on researching penguins, think about what are these big ideas that all the resources are talking about. And that's going to lead me to your job, your independent practice. So I took a screenshot exactly of your assignment today. So after this, you're going to go click on Add Response. And number 1 says, what prior knowledge do I know about penguins? I put, example, I know that penguins are black and white. And I wrote it in a full sentence. I'd like you to do that as well. List all the different things that you know about penguins. Question 2 says, what books or resources can I use? For example, I put the first book I saw was just titled Penguins on Epic. Okay, see how many resources you can find and type them in. I challenge you to find a couple. And question 3, identify common subtopics about penguins. For example, I put a common subtopic I notice is food. Can you guys find any others? Thanks, boys and girls, and I look forward to seeing your responses.